الحمد لله نحمده نستعين به ونستهديه ونستغفره نعوذ به جل وعلا من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. عباد الله، أنصحكم ونفسي الآثمة بتقوى الله، أحثكم وإياها على طاعته، أحذركم وإياها وبال مخالفته جل وعلا ومعصيته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وعظيمنا ونبينا وشفيعنا وقرة أعيننا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي الأمين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، وارض اللهم عن أصحابه أجمعين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في المحكم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم حريص عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. The ayah is very famous and is very known في سورة Taubah. And the general meaning of the ayah, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu says, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ. يعني to you has come a messenger, Rasul, from yourselves. مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ, from yourselves. عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ. It is dear to him, it affects him, it impacts him what happens, the difficulties you go through, the hardships you suffer. عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ. He is caring about you. He cares about you, kind towards you. He is looking after you. When someone looks after you, he wants you always to be the best. هكذا يصف الله سبحانه وتعالى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is how Allah describes him: بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَؤُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. With the believers, he is رَؤُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Let me just go back to the beginning of the ayah. And we ought to ask ourselves, why did Allah says في القرآن الكريم لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ. To you has come a messenger from amongst yourself. Did not say لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْكُمْ. To you has come a prophet from amongst you. Why selves? Why أنفسكم? Why not say مِنْكُمْ? There is a point here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to understand, that An-Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam came from amongst our souls, from amongst ourselves. لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ. From amongst you, someone who you know, from the nafs that you have, this nafs that you have, that is how Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came, in the sense that someone that you know as well as you know yourself. How well do you know your soul? How well do you know yourself? This is who was sent to you. Not simply from someone who is amongst you. No, from amongst yourselves. مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ. يَعْرِفُونَهُ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَنفُسَهُمْ. Another place. They know him just like they know themselves. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They know he's al-haq. لكن there's another irregular riwayah, يعني قراءة شاذة, says لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم, not أنفسكم. أنفسكم means nafs, plural of the nafs, from yourselves. Some other irregular narration, we don't use it in the قراءة, لكن it's there, it says أنفسكم, from the fatih of the أنفسكم comes from nafis, and nafis means the most beautiful and the most sacred and the most rare of things. So here also Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came from the most rarest of things, from the most
beautiful of things, from the most sacred of things. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sometimes, when humanity suffers, and always humanity suffers, setbacks. Yani life is always up and down. That's usual. And they always say the only thing constant about life is change. Change is all the time. When humanity suffers setbacks, it goes back to a desert in morality, in ethics, and in spirituality and inspiration. Humanity refers back to the prophets. They have to. The source of ethics, the source of morality, the source of inspiration, aspiration, and spirituality. They have to go to the oasis of the prophets. Whether they go to the oasis of the Prophet Isa, or Musa, or other prophets, or the best of all the prophets, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because just like the desert is called alive when there are plants and green in it, the human beings are alive when there are morals and spirituality in them. Therefore the poet, the Egyptian poet, says, وَإِنَّمَا الْأُمَمُ الْأَخْلَاقِ مَا بَقِيَتْ فَإِنْهُمُ ذَهَبَتْ أَخْلَاقُهُمْ. Nations, meaning the poetry here, nations are held and are superior and they have prosperity as long as they have the basic ethics and moral codes and justice. Once that goes away, then regardless what nation it is, it goes away as well. That also works on the individuals, that works on the families, that works on communities, that works on societies. That is a rule. Therefore, notice, when Allah Jalla Jalaluhu praised His Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ, from amongst you, the soul, that the purity of the soul that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah gave him. How did Allah describe him? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. When Sayyidah Aisha al-Mu'mineen radiyallahu ta'ala anha was asked about the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how would you describe him? And what is very short, give me one. I know describing the Nabi al-A'zam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is an impossible task in a comprehensive way. Who knows him in that entirely comprehensive, conclusive way but Allah, His Creator? In a conclusive way, we know some about him Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Like in that conclusive way, and that comprehensive conclusivity, the only one who knows him like that is Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Like when Sayyidah Aisha wants to describe him, how should she describe him? كَانَ خُلُقُهُ الْقُرْآنِ. His akhlaq was Quran. He was a Quran walking. Look at that description. Simple but profound. Always. We always have to put these things in our lives, because Islam, like we talked about, and Iman is not simply an utterance in the tongue, but it has to be coupled by the belief. It has to be confirmed by the actions. Therefore, when you look at the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's seerah, you see the example of akhlaq, the example of truthfulness. What did they used to call him before he announced the message? Before he announced the message, what did they call him? As-Sadiqul Amin. That's what they started. The trustworthy, the truthful. As-Sadiqul Amin. The title of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam among the people. You see, you might say, some people may think, well, he was living in the desert 1,400 some years ago. What's there to do? Think again. Number one, Mecca at that time was not only a business and religious center, was also an entertainment center. What does that mean? People, how did they used to live over there? By robbery, killing, murder. Furthermore than that, the business of alcohol. When you talk about alcoholics sometimes here, Let's check the alcoholic rates back in Mecca at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, where people would store khamr like they store meat, like they store things that they eat. Mu'na, they store them like they store essential food. So we understand how. The time in Mecca at that time, after they would go and worship the idols and they would kill for the idols, they rob other people, they confiscate their women and daughters, they force them into prostitution. I'm not bringing this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La tukrihu, until Allah revealed the ayah of the Quran al-Kareem, forcing the people, the munafiqeen, even after the beginning of Islam, were still doing this. What the Quraysh were doing before, Allah revealed an ayah from the Quran al-Kareem, La tukrihu fatayatikum ala al-bigha. In Arab, the ayah of the Quran, do not force those people, your slaves, to do prostitution. What kind of people are you then? Notice, they rob the human freedom. They force them to do all kinds of work so they can have the worst form of abusing the human being, not only in every aspect of the way. Now, khamr, prostitution, killing, murder. The society was living on riba. Everything in Quraysh was at the time riba. You give him something, then you have to take 300%, 400%, 1,000%, etc., etc. In that society, that is rampant with all kinds of things, where a father kills his own daughter, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam emerged as the highest form of purity and ethical standard. To stay away from all these things in that kind of society. It's an example. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. So we understand. Because sometimes we think, oh, it was just a desert, it was just a wait. You have to look into how things were. So you understand and appreciate the relativity of things. And not necessarily far away from where we are. Immediately after he announced, now what happened, Quraysh? They realized these things in him. Though his father died, but they went and everything valuables they had, they gave it to him. What does that tell you? They don't trust each other. A society that lacked even trusting each other. They do business with each other. I tell you, you give me women, you give me this, you give me that. Lakin, I don't trust you with things. Where do I take him? I take them to Muhammad ibn Abdullah. They would take their valuables because they don't trust each other. Where? To someone they realized, as-sadiqul ameen. All that changed all of a sudden. From as-sadiqul ameen, now they called him as-sahirul kadhab. The magician, the liar. That was the propaganda of the Qurayshis. What happened? You might say, and some people may ask, well, what is wrong here? What's the picture? The picture here is that the Prophet ﷺ came with a message of justice, message of equality, message of preserving everyone's right. Everyone will live nicely and comfortably and within laws, within a protective environment, a nice, decent environment. What's wrong with that? Why would they call him the liar? Why would they call him a magician? They were people who were living off of usury and riba. Their shops are going to close down. There were people who were living off of prostitution. Their shops will close down. There were people who were living off of khamr and maysir, wal-ansab, wal-azlam. Their shops will close down. There were people who were living on the division and on lying and on fabrications and on forgeries. Their shop will close down. There were people who were living on killing others and subjugating others and enslaving others. Their shops will close down. They had to stand up to the Prophet ﷺ because otherwise they'll be out of business. So they called him, because usually the munafiqeen cannot face the proof with the proof, evidence with evidence. I say, or the Prophet ﷺ was saying, that Allah is the worthy of being worshipped. They cannot talk about these things. But what can they do? Character assassination. Character assassination and characterization of the Prophet ﷺ. Personal slander. No factual slander, but personal. So what do they go? الساحر الكذاب. صادق Amin was just a minute ago, now ساحر الكذاب. عجيب. How things change like this. Notice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then they go and they see that, you know, when Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam used to come to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and wahi, and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would sit still and his whole body is consumed sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with Jibreel alayhi salam. The people used to see that. What did they say? لَقَدْ صُرِعَ بِنُ أَبِي كَبْشَةٍ. They wouldn't call him, the people of Quraysh would not call the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam Muhammad bin Abdullah. If you say Muhammad bin Abdullah, means his grandfather is Abdul Muttalib, the master of Mecca, from Bani Hashim, the most honorable tribe, Quraysh, etc. No. They called him Ibn Abi Kabsha, the son of Abu Kabsha, degradation of his family, stripping him away, separating him from his honorable tribe, not Hashimi, Ibn Abi Kabsha. What they say, لَقَدْ صُرِعْ, look, he's having these things, he's really going crazy. وَهُوَ مَجْنُونَ, he's majnoon. Allah reveals the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Noon. وَالْقَلَمِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ مَا أَنْتَ بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ بِمَجْنُونَ. Allah defends him. You are not majnoon. But why do they say these things? Because the character assassination. They went to look for things, bad things about the Prophet ﷺ. They started microanalyzing him, but they didn't find anything wrong. So what did they go? They went to his hal and his ways, and they tried to switch the picture exactly the other way around. لكن إن الله يدافع عن الذين آمنوا. Allah defends those who believe. How about the master of the believers sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alayhi? Why do they say Ibn Abi Kabsha? Why do they want to separate him from his honorable tribe? Because it's easier to slander him this way. It's easier to slander him if you separate him from his tribe. لأنه Bani Hashim. Therefore, one of the poets says, praising one of the awliya, says, يا من إذا عدت مناقب غيره رجحت مناقبه وكان الأفضل. If you were compared by any, with Prophet ﷺ, if he was compared by any other prophet, if his manaqib are compared to any other prophet from Adam until Isa alayhi salam, who will overweigh all of them? All of them combined. رجحت مناقبه. The manaqib of Rasulullah ﷺ will overweigh all of them. عليهم السلام. صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وسلم. إني لأعذر حاسدك على النبي. He says, I give excuse to those who are jealous of you. For what Allah, لِلَّذِي أَوْلَاكَ رَبُّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَفَضَّلَ. For what your Lord has favored you. So many things your Lord has given you, so people have felt jealous. إِنْ يَحْسِدُوكَ عَلَىٰ عُلَاكَ فَإِنَّمَا مُتَسَافِلُ الدَّرَجَاتِ يَحْسِدُ مَنْ عَلَىٰ. If they are jealous at your high levels, it is always those who are of low levels have jealousy and hatred to those who are of high levels. Always like this, that inferiority complex in them, that they can never reach that status. And that's what kept them going. You see another aspect of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You see him with his ibadah. That's a side of his comprehensive akhlaq sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Would stand the whole night in his ibadah. And that's the sunnah. Again, we're talking about these things because these things we live them. Until his feet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are swollen. He would fast the day and do qiyam in the night. And he was never filled with food his entire life. His stomach was never ever filled with food his entire life. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. So much that he praised the whole night. So much that Jibreel came running down from heaven saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Taha ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'an litashqa. Taha, we did not reveal the Quran unto you, so you can suffer the whole night like this. What does he answer? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What does he tell Aisha radiallahu anha? أَفَلَا أَكُونُ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. Shouldn't I be a thankful slave? Look at this. الحاكم الإمام الحاكم narrates in his مستدرك الحديث صحيح على شرط مسلم كما قال الحاكم. Hadith is authentic fulfilling the condition of Muslim by Umar رضي الله عنه. Look at this. يدخل عمر رضي الله عنه. Umar سيدنا عمر رضي الله عنه comes into the playroom when the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was there. He was sleeping. He sees him sleeping on an old ram. That thing that's made of plastic, hasir. Huh? You know the ones that are like that? If you sit on them for a while, they imprint right on your head and on your... He says, وَإِنَّ التُّرَابَ لَيَعْلُو. يعني some of the sand and the dust of the floor or of the ground is on him, sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. As if Sayyidina Umar's eyes were tearing, looking at Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And these things are imprinting on his honorable face, and the sand and the soil of the ground are on his honorable face, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam realized he was there. He says, what is wrong, Ya Umar? He says, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, Anta Safiyullah. You are the Safi of Allah. You are the beloved of Allah. And you are like this. And Kisra and Qaisar, the king of Persia and the king of Rome, they sit on the mattresses of gold and silver and the mattresses of silk. And you are like this, Ya Rasulullah. He says, Ya Umar, O Umar, Ulaika unasun ujjilat lahum tayyibatuhum. Those are people whose tayyibat, comfortable things, are given to them. And it shall soon stop. And to us, our good things have been saved for us fi akhiratina, in our akhirah. And that doesn't stop. He started the da'wah, went to the cave, came out carrying the message from Ghar Hira, carrying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Taught the human being what they don't know. This is what the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam carried. What did Quraysh carry against him? They carried stones and filth and dirt and slander. That's what they carried against him. He brings them, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ya ayyuhan nas, antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. You are all needy to your Lord. What do they carry against him? Those stones, now they change. Not only stones, into digging holes for him at night. At night in Mecca, you don't see what's in front of you supposedly. Like and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah wants to show us how he suffered. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they would dig holes for him. So when he walks, he would trip and fall in these holes on the way to his home. What does he do, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He wipes out the blood on his honorable face and makes dua for them, that Allah gives them rahmah, for they do not know who he is. Those stones did not stop, but they change into metals and iron, where Abu Jahl comes with a stick of iron, and when the Prophet ﷺ is praying and he starts hitting him with a stick of iron on him, merciless, without any mercy on him, ﷺ, so much that the Nabi ﷺ started bleeding. Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib comes, and he sees this. He says, Wallahi la akhudhanna laka haqqa. By Allah, I will take your revenge for you. He takes that same thing of iron and he goes to Abu Jahl. He puts him under his feet and he keeps hitting him with the same thing until he tells him, Ya Rasulullah, are you pleased? He says, let him go. Pictures and pictures, you see how the suffering is, how things happened, why things happened. Like you see throughout the mercy of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah hamdan kathiran kama amara, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa man jahada bihi wa kafar. Ashhadu anna sayyidina Muhammadan sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi al-fiqh wal nadar wal ilm wal athar wa ala man bi atharihim mutathabatan. Another side, and we'll finish with this side, is the side of mercy. The side of forgiveness that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had. We're saying all these things because we live these things. So we can learn from these things. Anas ibn Malik al-Bukhari, he says, I served Rasulullah, I served Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam 10 years. 10 years I served him every single day. He never told me, uff. Not one time. I was his servant 10 years, never off. And he never told me, why didn't you do this? And why don't you do this? Never. لِمَا صَنَعْتْ وَلَا صَنَعْتْ. Never. Why did you do this? Or why don't you do this? 10 years in his khidmah. And Nadr ibn al-Harith, one of the people in Quraysh, close to the Prophet ﷺ in family lineage. His job was to collect money and people, to rally them against Rasulullah ﷺ. You see how the munafiqeen, from the old times and the new times, till the end of times, they're the same. Different faces, different names, different ways. Same pattern, doesn't change. That's just the way it is. He goes to the women, the prostitutes in Mecca. He pays them money. They go and they put henna on their hands. They take the drums and they walk in the streets of Mecca slandering Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This was the way to circulate your slander. This is the way to smear somebody. So they would go and they were playing the duf and the drums and they're slandering, singing in the slander of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is what he would do. In one of the battles before Badr, this man, Nadr ibn al-Harith, was picked up by the Muslims, coming. So they took him as a hostage, or not hostage, prisoner of war, I apologize. They took him to the Prophet ﷺ, and Nabi ﷺ raised his head like this. He says, Ya Nadr, oh you Nadr, why would you do this? Why would you say these lies about me? He says, Ya Muhammad, leave me because I have children, and I know you would forgive. I have children I have to worry about. So just forgive me, let me go about my business. I know you are a man who forgive. He says, you have children? He says, go, you forgive. He goes back. He goes back to the same thing. He hires people. He does the same things and even more. The battle of Badr came, and he would go and he would put out of his own money to give arms to those who don't have arms to fight Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Muslims pick him up again as prisoner. He falls prisoner. He comes to the Prophet ﷺ again. He raises, says, haven't I forgiven you? And you said you would not do this again. Why are you doing this again? There is an event, and I'll finish with this event, where a fox, ثعلب or wolf, one time this wolf, ظهر الثعلب يوما في لباس الواعظين. So we don't get fooled by those people who have these. They say because they will always promise, they will always break. والله يعلم أن المنافقين لكاذبون. المنافقين are always liars. Allah mentions. Look at the pattern. الثعلب, the wolf, one day ظهر الثعلب يوما في لباس الواعظين. He put the clothing of the شيوخ and the واعظين. ثعلب is a wolf. وَمَشَى فِي النَّاسِ يَسُبُّ الْمَاكِرِينَ. And he walked among people and he's cursing those who are cunning. The wolf is the master of the cunning. Now he's cursing the cunning. وَيَقُولُ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ إِلَهِ الْعَالَمِينَ. Now the wolf is praising Allah, the Lord of the worlds. يَا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ تُوبُوا فَهُوَ كَهْفُ التَّائِبِينَ. O slaves of Allah, repent to Allah. This is the wolf walking among people saying, O slaves of Allah, repent to Allah, for He is the one who accepts the repentance of those who repent to Him. Look at this. And then he says, وَابْعَثُوا لِلدِّيكِ يُصَلِّي فِي صَلَاةِ الصُّبْحِ فِينَا. And please send to the chicken so they can come and lead the Fajr prayer. After all this introduction, what does he want? He wants the chicken to come to lead the prayer. فَأَتَتْ دِيكَ رَسُولٌ. To the chicken, a messenger came. مِنْ إِمَامِ الْمَاكِرِينَ. From the imam of the cunning people, the wolf, a messenger came to the chicken, telling the chicken, عَرَضَ الْأَمْرَ عَلَيْهِ وَهُوَ يَرْجُو أَنْ يَلِينَ. Tell him, this is what happened. Why don't you know that now the wolf has repented, mashallah. He's wearing the clothes of the honorable people. He's calling for the piety of Allah. Why don't you come and lead the Fajr prayer tomorrow? وَهُوَ يَرْجُو أَنْ يَلِينَ فَأَجَابَ الدِّيكُ عُذْرًا Ya imama, ya adalla al-muhtadina. The chicken says, please excuse me and tell that to the imam of the misguided. مخطئ من ظن يوما أن للثعلب دينا. You are wrong if you ever believe that the wolf has a deen. مخطئ من ظن يوما. You would be wrong to believe that the wolf would change and he has a deen. Things that we look at from the seerah. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم. بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. أعلي مولانا كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه، من أراد بهم غير ذلك فاجعل دائرة السوء عليه. اللهم رد المسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. آت أنفسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. اشف اللهم مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وفك أسرانا وارحم موتانا. اشف اللهم لنا ولآبائنا ولمشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا ولمن عن الخير أعاننا وعن الشر أبعدنا ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله. أقم الصلاة.